ability, so when you're moving around, so when he spawns, to actually kill the soldiers and make light of them quicker.
I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast.
Hey there peeps, what is going on? It's Miss C.O.Z here, and we are back with the Witcher 3 boss fight, so the Hearts of Stone DLC. I didn't put the full campaign on because that would just be too much content to create too, but I'm going to get these boss fights out, and then maybe in the future I will also do the premieres or the videos based on some of the game story as well. But as you know, we do it by the consistent, the typical boss fight formula that you normally get out of me while I'm commentating what I've done, my thoughts, tips and strategies. The Ofieri Mage, now I died a lot to him. At this time, I had realized that when playing the DLCs, there was a massive difference in the difficulty in general and the power of enemies, especially when you've just finished the main campaign. And in the main campaign, you could pretty much get away without focusing on your build too much. Although I didn't focus on my build, I did work on improving some of Geralt's abilities for this boss fight, but I'd come straight out of the Toad Prince's boss fight. So in the end, after the Ofieri Mage kept wrecking me, this is the kind of fight that forces you to slow down if you're the kind of player who likes to get in and deal with attacks and openings. The first stage of the fight for 2 minutes was literally taking down his Ofieri soldiers. Yes, I could have been more affected, but I decided to play it over cautious in this case. Each Ofieri soldier, some has shields, the ones that do not are easier to take down, but what you can do is stay away from the mage entirely and deal with them first. And another thing that you can do is when the mage spawns attacks, for instance, when Geralt gets stuck on the beach straight after the Toad Prince boss fight, as you can see, I only had about 8 olives and I chew through my health fast. The Toad Prince boss fight was hilariously disgusting, took me ages. So by then I had to pretty much learn his attacks, and it's good because I got his timing down. But as you can see, you should be able to use the mage's ability, so when you're moving around, so when he spawns, to actually kill the soldiers and make light of them quicker. So what you need to do is stay at a distance, roll around, work on breaking their guard. If you get up close to your Ofieri Mage, he's going to start spamming quicker attacks because he's also got close range attacks. However, if you keep a distance, the only main attack you can do is this really slow AoE. As long as you're paying attention to the arena, you can pretty much dodge out of. What I'd also suggest is using the ability Quen. Quen is used a lot. It's an extra shield, so that can tank a hit when you are hit. And I kept Quen there in case I failed to dodge too. This way, if the AoE attacks you, then at least Geralt doesn't get harmed through that hit. And this is really, I think, the effective strategy to dealing with this boss fight. At least for me, it's what worked the best. Otherwise, if you get in close range, sometimes it is difficult to deal with the Ofieri Mage's attacks initially with all the soldiers. So you got to take it one step at a time. So we played it smart and slow. Once we dealt with the Ofieri Mages, as you can see, ooh, he tried that whirl attack on me as well. But once we dealt with the Ofieri Mage's troops, still waiting, still circling, hadn't quite locked in yet, just keeping at a distance. Look, what harm can he do to me if I can just dodge those slow AoE attacks? It's about when I want to get in and hack and slash him. Remember, the Ofieri Mage disappears and cannot be harmed, or at least through the initial stage of the boss fight. He won't take any damage until you've at least dealt with all of his soldiers. And it's probably better to do that anyway, because, you know, you don't want to be whittling on something that doesn't take any DPS, damage per second. So once that is over, we get to the next stage of the boss fight. He starts spawning around, disappearing, appearing again, and getting in up close. But once you get up close, you've got to be careful. He either disappears, but you see if you could try and trap him. So get in there, fast attack, then get out. Always keep a Quen in case one of his close range tornado sand attacks occur. So this is the stage of the boss fight where you get slightly more aggressive. Now he's got a massive health bar, yes, and yes, it took me a while. It took me about 7 minutes to get through him properly. But I think unless you are confident in going in with dealing with and quick timings and quick dodges with his quick range attacks. And when I had tried this, he was still whittling down my health and causing status effects or whatever. He did chew through some of my health too, but I tried to last my health throughout the boss fight. It was better to just wait. Look, as you can see, I was waiting. I was circling him, and then as soon as I got the opportunity, I pretty much attacked him for the course of the duration. My weapon wasn't doing as outstanding damage as I had hoped either, because I had no choice. I was pulled into this boss fight without being able to do any pre-prep. The Toad Prince, the first boss fight of the Hearts of Stone DLC, I think is a deal breaker for a lot of plays as well. But especially on the higher difficulty. So this was, I think, the second to highest difficulty. I wanted to experience the story, but also wanted some sort of at least some sort of a challenge with the boss fight. So I think that Blood and Bones was basically a hard out of very hard. Was possibly the right one, where I would die a lot until I learned how to deal with the boss fights and attacks. But in general, as long as you're playing by the right strategy or you're focused, it shouldn't be too hard either. I think in the case of The Witcher 3, I started off on Blood and Broken Bones, so I did get used to that difficulty too. The good thing about it is that a lot of Witcher 3 revolves around that slow-based action strategy as well, so it does give you time. You can pause in between, take potions and all that as well. If you are thinking about playing The Witcher 3, which is a fantastic game, its story is amazing. With The Witcher 4 being made by CD Projekt Red as well, and this game was my first introduction to CD Projekt Red's games. Games like Cyberpunk that followed after as well. You know, these guys are one of the other bunch of RPG masters, as opposed to Bethesda, who we know made Fallout and Skyrim too. The story is phenomenal, both the main campaign and the generous DLC, so Hearts of Stone DLC, and I haven't played the other one yet, and I'm definitely going to get to it, which is Blood and Wine. Offer a mixed variety of boss fights, exploration, story too, if you just want that to be your RPG, you want your story RPG open world, and a lot of lore. Is fabulous. The story is probably the best thing about The Witcher 3, the characters, the effort I see from last gen that they put into this game, so I'm really thrilled to see what CD Projekt Red come up with as well for The Witcher 4, and how Geralt's story will continue. Witcher 3 is the ode to Geralt's final ending. You know, it's a game that you've all played, even if you haven't played all the Witchers. And since I picked my game, even though I've read the books and I watched the series as well, it was The Witcher 3 that just pretty much charmed me, that got me excited about looking at what the development of the other Witcher games would be as well. I know that they were remastering one of the old ones too, but I'd like to see what if a studio like that is to bring modern things to the original old system of The Witcher 3 and how things work, what kind of things would they be able to do? As you can see, same thing, dodge, get in there, use fast attacks, and we had him down. Thank you so much for watching, and more Hearts of Stone DLC content coming. See you soon.